Salam and hello everybody. Assalamu alaikum. I hope you're all doing really well. So welcome to my latest video, which is my Ramadan meal prep for this Ramadan 2023. I can't believe it's in a couple of weeks. I pray that we all get to see it, and I pray that we have a blessed and productive Ramadan this year. Ameen. So one thing I do every year, and something that is very common in many Muslim households, is that I prepare a load of snacks. Usually we have them as starters when we break our fast in the evening. So I made a big batch of samosas, spring rolls and kebabs. I think I managed to make 60 samosas, and they were substantial, like big samosas. Not like really giant ones, but big enough. So 60 samosas, I think 60 spring rolls, and I'm not sure how many kebabs I made. So first of all, I made the samosas. So as you'll have seen, I was cutting up onions and potatoes. And then I cooked some mince in a large pan until it was brown and the water had dried off, or you can drain it off. Next, I added in the chopped onions, cooked it for a few minutes until the onions were a little bit soft. Added some garlic and ginger paste. Some salt. And then a load of spices. And some lemon juice. Some tomato puree and tamarind sauce, or imli it's called. And then you just mix that all together, and you see that lovely deep brown colour coming through. Next, I added in the cooked potatoes and then just mix that all together. So I like to make my samosa dough from scratch. It's a lot of work, like it's a lot of extra work. I could just use pastry sheets or parantas or tortilla wraps, you could even use, but I just like the taste of, the homemade samosas from scratch. So inshallah, the effort is worth it. So I was just making the samosa dough. And then I used the dough hooks on my hand mixer until it was a nice smooth dough. The dough actually came out really nice and smooth and soft, and that makes it easier when you're actually shaping your samosa cases. So I let the samosa dough rest for about 30 minutes, and then I went ahead and made my samosa cases. So I just make these how I make chapatis. Only cook them very lightly, so like part cook them. And when I roll them out, I try and roll them out as thinly as possible without ripping them. You don't need like a really heavy samosa case, nice and thin if you can. I think this must have taken me at least 45 minutes. I wasn't really checking the time. So as you're cooking the samosa cases, make sure you put them on a plate and cover them so they don't dry out and they don't become too cool, because then they'll be hard to cut and to shape.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So once all of them were ready, I proceeded to make the samosas. So I cut them in half. As I've mentioned before, this is how I've always made them. It's something we learned growing up. My mum would get us all to sit and make samosas with her. Like I said, it's easier to shape the samosa cases if they're a little bit warm. Once you've added your filling, seal it with the flour glue and then use a fork to press the edges. I looked like I was having a lot of fun doing that, but it wasn't actually that much fun. The kids kept coming in and I was having conversations here and there, which does help pass the time. Well, actually, I was listening to something as well, a podcast or a video, yeah, just to pass the time. The next thing I made were some kebabs, Chapli Kebabs or round kebabs. Akil, my husband, loves kebabs for iftar to break the fast, and the kids enjoy them as well. So do I won't lie. So first of all, I've got some onions, tomatoes and chilies, and then I just blitzed that in a chopper thing. And then add that to some lamb mince in a large mixing bowl. Add some spices, salt, garlic and ginger paste, some gram flour or besan. If you really can't get a hold of any gram flour, just use some plain flour. It should be fine, inshallah. And then just mix that all together. And then I left it for about 30 minutes. I don't know, I was probably doing something, but you could just shape them straight away. And then the way I prepare them and freeze them is I'll get some greaseproof paper, get a sheet of it, and then spread the mixture evenly using a rolling pin. If you want less mess, put another sheet of paper on top and then roll it like that. And then I use a large cookie cutter to cut round shapes. I've just found it to be quickest like this. The excess meat, I remove it from around the kebab shapes and then just cut round the kebabs and stack them. Just repeat the process until all of the kebab meat mixture has been used up. Once I've done that, I made the chicken kebabs. So I wanted to make chicken kebabs with like a cheesy center. So I used mozzarella cheese for the center of the kebabs. So same thing, blitz your onion, and I've got a finger chili in the chopper. So I added the chicken mince to a large bowl, added the onion mixture, salt, spices, garlic and ginger paste, an egg, gram flour, some lime juice and an egg, and just mix that all together. I covered it with cling film and put it in the fridge for about 30 minutes or an hour, just because it's easier to shape the kebabs, especially with chicken mince, when you put it in the fridge and it's a little bit harder. So once I took the mixture back out the fridge, I shaped each of the kebabs and then flattened and created a little bit of a well in the center, filled it with some mozzarella cheese, the grated version, and enclosed it within the meat and pressed it again, as I am demonstrating in the video. Once they were done, stack them up, put them in freezer bags, and that was another job done, alhamdulillah. Next, I made these chicken spring rolls. This is something I always make. The kids really love them, mashallah. So I've got some chicken mince, add that to a pan, cook it till it's white, the water's been released. You can drain the waters off. So this one's actually really easy to make and no complicated flavours, which makes it very kid friendly. Not that the other ones are not kid friendly, it's just something that kids like. So I've got some spring onions, some sweet corn. At this point I think I'd turned the heat off and I just added all the ingredients in and just mash it with the potato masher at the end to make it more of a smoother mixture rather than quite lumpy with all the big potatoes. The last filling I made was this sardine and veg one. So I've got some frozen veg. I've added that to a pan and just cooked till the veg is soft and no longer frozen. Add in some spinach. And once that reduced in size, I added in some sardines, which were in the little tins and they were in olive oil. You can also get them in tomato sauce, I think. I thought I'd go for the olive oil ones. I just added some salt, garlic granules, onion granules. It didn't need any really strong flavours. The sardines are strong enough, I think, in flavour. And then I filled a load of spring roll pastry sheets with the chicken filling and the sardine filling. I know most people cut their spring roll pastry sheets in half because you can make more like that, but I just find it an extra hassle. And then that means I'll be doing more folding and rolling and I can't be bothered. So in total I made 60 spring rolls. Most of them I made with the chicken filling. The rest I made with this sardine and veg filling. And there's all my spring rolls ready, and alhamdulillah, that was the last of it. Anyway, I hope you have a wonderful Ramadan. Remember me and my family in your du'as. Jazakallah, thank you so much for watching. Inshallah, see you really soon. Take care. Salam. Bye.